episode 87 of TerrorVision horror podcast Splatter Chatter, an unedited, unscripted chinwag about some of our favourite horror movies. I'm one of your hosts, Jennifer Strand, and joining me is our very own limb collector, Dan McGuinness.
Good morning.
Good morning. Dan, I did a crazy impulsive thing this week. I was in a bookshop, as I don't frequent anymore because I spend a lot of money on books that end up in a pile.
True.
And he had a lot of novelizations for horror films.
You said they'd just come in.
They had just come in.
They didn't even hit the shelf.
No, they were kind of like off on the shelf just a little bit, and I essentially walked out with Halloween, so the original 1978 novelization of Halloween, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Ooh.
I also got The Thing, Escape from New York, The Fog, and The Hunger and Poltergeist.
Now, you put a photo of these up on our Instagram, and I was
did.
like, oh, yeah, she got some books. But I didn't realise how important these books are because these are all actual first printings.
They are.
So these are the books. These came out around the time. These are the actual printing versions of them.
Yes.
So they obviously wouldn't have cost you nothing.
No. I'm eating beans for the next couple of weeks.
And you actually are. I was astounded of how...
I impulse bought like a motherfucker. And I'm generally real good with not impulse buying things. But
And we're talking hundreds of dollars for some of these
Yeah.
books, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Each one of... Yeah.
Each. They are not cheap. But they are amazing. They're in such good condition. And it was like...
Someone just must have had them on their shelf and then just went, oh, I don't want these. And
Essentially, like, it was this one guy who'd brought them all in like 2 lots, and it was part of his collection. He'd purchased them back when they first came out, and they'd been sitting on his shelf ever since.
probably never read them either.
They are in like immaculate condition. They do not look like they've been read. Poltergeist, which was the cheapest of the lot, that cost me $11. That one had clearly been
$11?
loved. Yeah, clearly been loved and read and whatnot. But this, yeah, it was like a grail find. It was like goldmine. I was so excited, and I even had to like ring my wife and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna do something impulsive." She's like, "Yeah, that's fine."
Yeah, do it.
Do
Come
it.
on, do it. Kill me.
So yeah, like that.
That's great. That whole thing as well. Like, I mean, that took those books, 30, 40 years to get that expensive. But even nowadays, like with some books, as soon as something goes out of print,
Yeah.
it's just going up crazy. Like, as I was saying, I've been like getting deep into Hellraiser lore recently. Just trying to consume as much as I can. And there's not heaps out there, which is cool. Because when you do get it, you're like excited about it and stuff like that. But like a lot of the Hellraiser lore is in the comics. And the comics are just like, so they just released last year or something, they released like an omnibus of all like the kind of the more recent stuff, which is more Clive Barker had to do with. So it's counted as canon, basically. Big storylines. And the book came out and it came into the shop and like, you know, we got a couple of them and I thought, I'll get that. But then it sold out and I thought, I'll get it later. And they never reprinted them.
Yeah.
And now you go on there and it's just like, you know, someone's like, oh, yeah, that's now like $2,000 is the least you can buy it for. This is a book that's like 6 months old.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why these companies just don't reprint shit.
Yeah, it's so strange why they're not doing that, especially for like
because that isn't worth money because it's rare or it's, you know, it's stood the test of time and it still exists from a, you know, it's just, it's basically market, you know, just pushing that up because people are like, oh, I know no one else has got this, therefore I'm going to sell it for thousands of dollars. And like, back in the day, you could, without the internet, you could have like tried that, but everyone would have laughed in your face. Like, but yeah, nowadays it's just a thing, especially with all those dodgy auction houses. Like,
and it's getting harder and harder for collectors to collect because people know. I mean, I don't want to say people know what they've got. People think they know.
Well, it's not
based on the internet and YouTube.
But it's not even that because it's just the what are they called? The graders.
Yeah.
These people are grading stuff and then they're taking a cut. So it's in their interest to make the shit graded worth more.
Yeah.
Then the people who own the grading companies also own the auction houses. So it's in their interest to make it worth heaps of money because then when they get the cut of what they sell it for in the auction house, and there's multiple videos online of this like basically illegal practice that was going on. Went through the basketball card industry, has gone through the video game industry recently with like you know shit and then these people are buying these things thinking it's worth like $1 million, like the Mario Brothers stuff. And it says everyone's just got them in their fucking backyard, in their, Yeah. I've got a copy of that here.
Yeah.
It's not worth $1 million.
No.
It might be a rarer version of it, but like it was ridiculous kind of thing. Anyhow, after my rant about the industry.
Hey, look, we both have that rant frequently.
Yeah, I this week have I finished The Toll, Hellraiser The Toll,
yes.
which is not written by Clive Barker, but it's still counted as like
it's canon,
kind of canon-y vibe. I reckon it's it's a novella. It's very short. It's like 100 pages.
That's good.
It follows like 30 years after the Hellbound Heart. No, so what makes this book weird is it doesn't follow the novel. It follows the film, which is different. The characters are different. But then it leads into the prequel to the next Hellraiser novel. So it like goes from film back into the... Like, why didn't they just make it like after?
Sure.
Because like the difference between a Hellbound Heart novel and the Hellraiser film is that Julia and Kirsty and her father in the film, in the novel, they're just all the same age and they're friends.
Yeah.
And Kirsty used to go out with the character, which is her dad in the thing. So it's a bit different kind of thing. And like, in the novel, Julia murders people with this little knife, and in the movie, she burns them with a hammer, and they mention the hammer in this book and all shit like that.
Yeah.
And so it's set 30 years after Hellraiser, and it's just about how you live and how she has to, even though the Cenobites let her go, they still will get her if they can find her, and how you live off the radar from a Cenobite. It's about that.
Yeah, right.
It's just about like, just the weird things you have to do and that, and it's just basically leading into like the Scarlet Gospels. It's just like the first step that Pinhead's taking. He mentions like Harry D'Amour and all stuff like that and stuff. But yeah, great book, great little read. Like just sit down a couple of times and you finish it. But like if you love Hellraiser, it's a good little snippet into what happened before the Scarlet Gospels. A little bit of it, like. Yeah, can't say any more in case you want to read it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that sort of begs the question that if anyone has found a copy of the Hellraiser omnibuses and they know where to get it relatively well priced, let Dan know.
Also, I used to own, there's 4 of these books called the Books of the Damned.
Yep.
And I've owned 3 of them, and I've lost them.
Yeah. Oh, no.
And I just have no idea. One day they might turn up at my parents' house or something like that on a bookshelf. But up to this point, and the 4th one is what's worth the most, that one. Because that was like a 0-run print.
Yeah.
And it's just the best set of books. I love it so much. I want it so badly. It's basically just a dossier of all the Hellraiser universe, kind of like as if it's real, as in what people have collected.
That's amazing
to prove it. Rubbings of the boxes, explaining what all the bits on the fucking configuration mean and all that crap like that. Stuff about the engineer, which is like the dude who creates the Cenobites and stuff like that. And then, there's one, and I'm just searching for like it. I don't know. They should reprint that into an omnibus. That'd be rad.
They really should. See, I don't want to go searching as such. So, like, I know that straight out. Like, if now that I've got these books in my collection, that's it.
Do you need more novels?
It's opened a floodgate. I'm gonna need to get the rest because obviously I've got Halloween 1 and 3. Now I need 2. I've got Friday the 13th 3. Now I need the others.
Would you settle for any other prints?
Oh, of course.
Or you don't give a shit?
It's not a problem. It's now part of collecting. I've got to finish this set, this collection. Anyway, but I don't want to just jump on eBay and pay money. Like
pay money?
Yeah, money. I want to find them in the wild. Like I want to walk into a bookshop that I haven't walked into in like 5 years and go, what the fuck is that? And do that.
What the fuck is that? You should know what it is.
Well, no, I know, but...
like, holy fucking shit, dick balls.
Yeah, which is pretty much what I did. I stood at the counter like, I need to calm this shit down.
There's no Hellraiser books there? There's never Clive Barker. Do you know all of Clive Barker's stuff isn't in print, really?
This is so strange because... So I like to go to the Port Adelaide Fisherman Market.
Oh, yeah, I love that place.
We go there every couple of Sundays and we walk around because we like to buy old books and stuff. There's so much... Like, I picked up a really, like, a good first edition print of...
The Great and Secret Show?
Yeah, for $9. Hardcover, $9.
Nice. Yeah, they're not in print anymore.
No.
I mean, you can't... Well, they might be, but all the distributors that I've looked up don't really have them.
Well, I think it's because everything's just...
And you can't get them on if you can't get them on eBay, I mean, if you can't get them on Book Depository or something like that, it means they're not around.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, yeah, and I'm just like... Yeah, I'd just like to get some different versions and stuff like that. But anyhow, what the bloody hell is this
Well, we're not talking about novels today.
No.
We're actually talking about day horror.
What is day horror?
Day horror. Well, we are conditioned from a very young age to fear the dark. We fear what lurks in the shadows. But some of the greatest horrors can also happen in broad daylight. So today we're going to talk about a few of our favorite daytime horror films. Now, what constitutes daytime horror to me is, I'm going to say if like 90...
A majority.
The vast majority of the film is set in the middle of the day. Like, obviously, some films delve into night scenes, but the majority of this film happens during the day.
The fear isn't from the darkness.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now, do you want to kick us off, or would you like me to?
I'll kick us off, because I always have one more than you.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I don't know why I do that.
You're an overachiever.
I know. So my first one that I've just plonked up there, it was the first thing that sprung to mind.
Of course.
Is Bad Taste,
Yep.
1987. Peter Jackson's one of his, his earlier horror films, his horror fucking background that he has. Like, you got like bloody Brain Dead and all stuff like that. Bad Taste. We've done an episode on it. It's hilarious. It's mostly set in the day just because I think it was just easier for them to shoot in the day.
Yeah. Well, you don't need much lighting then, do you?
No, not at all. And they probably didn't have any lighting.
No.
Yeah. Come to think of it, the scenes that are indoors are really darkish because I think it's just because they had no lights.
Couldn't afford it.
But yeah, you got Bad Taste. It's set in New Zealand. Like,
first and foremost
country that aliens invade, and they turn. So the first half of the film, they're like zombies or idiot zombies, and then later on, it revealed that they're aliens disguised as people. It's so stupid and so wicked, and it's so gory.
Yeah, and
the humor in it. Oh my god, Derek! Like Peter Jackson plays the character himself, Derek, and yeah, it's like I've said it before, I've said it 1,000 times. It's almost like Peter Jackson knows how funny the New Zealand accent is, and he thrives on that. He continually just keeps saying lines that are hilariously funny.
Yeah, I think Taika's also the same. Like he knows.
He understands that it's that when they deliver lines a certain way, people think it's hilarious.
Yes,
and it is.
Yeah.
Because and they're really in Bad Taste. The characters are really rough. They're supposed to work for a government agency that protects the world and the moon. Do you remember? It's like,
and the moon.
Yeah, and the moon. And they say it like so dishevelled. Yeah, and the moon. And you got they're all these they're basically just dudes that would just be in a VB ad.
Yeah. That's probably where they were heading to. And they're like, hey, do you guys also want to be in this film? Yeah, right. And
then it's like, we're going to go kill these monsters. And one of them goes, good one. Good one. And just shit like that. And love it so much. I don't know much, but yeah, and like I say, the majority of it is set in the day because they were not going for suspense or scare them. They were just going for I don't want to shoot at night. It's hard to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Got no lighting.
No. Don't want to. That's wasting budgetary money that could be used on practical effects.
Which is, they went to the wazoo.
They
blew up miniatures. They blew a sheep up with a rocket launcher. Because it's New Zealand, there had to be a sheep.
They had plenty of sheep.
There's not much more to say about Bad Taste.
No. Okay, so the first film on my list is Midsommar from 2019, directed by Ari Aster. So this is an A24 film, and as we've established, that the A24 is the elevated horror, as they call it nowadays. So basically,
that was in Scream.
Yes, it was.
And she even mentioned Hereditary and shit.
Yep. Elevated horror.
Elevated
the Babadook.
I was so stoked in Scream. I'm just cutting you off.
No, that's fine.
I was so stoked in the new Scream film. They mentioned Babadook. That's a fucking South Australian Film Corporation film.
I know.
They fucking, they did it. You know what I mean? They did a low budget film that fucking the biggest horror films in the world are referencing as being wicked.
Yeah. Good on you, SA.
Man,
SA
they
great.
never jumped the shark in that film. They never did the big reveal, giving you a soft on.
Yeah.
Like, it was hard. It was erect dicks the whole way through that film.
Very much so. So yeah, Midsommar, it's a group of friends that travel to Sweden to study this summer festival that happens every 90 years in some weird remote hometown. But the whole thing at no point is shot during the nighttime, as I can recall. And this film is so bright.
I actually think this whole film's vibe was the exact quintessential thing of day horror. They were trying to make a very bright, horrific film set in a nice, bright, warm day.
Yeah.
They wanted you to fear the sun.
Yeah, no, exactly. And because, like, there's just so much that sort of goes into this film as well, that you don't necessarily... It's like, it's not this intense, there's people dying and being dismembered all over the place. It's just that everything that is happening is not right.
Yeah,
everything is sort of... And it's all sort of closing in on them, and it's just getting worse and worse.
It's got massive Wicker Man vibes from it.
That's the thing. Like, so yeah, there is massive Wicker Man vibes, which is also another horror film that is set primarily during the day. And you'll find that a lot of folk horror is set during the day.
Folk horror?
Folk horror.
Is The Witch in the day? No, there's bits of that.
No, there's lots of nighttime in The Witch.
But yeah, Midsummer, the word midsummer, is that just like, does that just mean summertime?
Probably. I don't know.
like midsummer? Like the middle of summer?
Yeah, maybe.
But I didn't like this film.
Did you finish the film?
Nah.
Okay, where did you stop? Did you stop at the scene with the old people?
They ditched him off of the...
Yeah, okay.
I was just like, oh, come on. But like, the thing that stopped me, and it wasn't that. It wasn't the gore. I mean, I did feel like it was a bit forced on me. It was the total way that the main characters reacted in ways that were stupid, and I just thought none of it would have happened because they wouldn't have even been there in the first place. Like, it was just so stretching my like belief structure that these people would at that point of their lives would even go there, and they would go together and do this.
Yep.
I was like,
well,
I thought, oh, maybe like, you know, it's going to explain and like that, and it just didn't. I mean, I didn't finish it. I got 3/4 of the way through and just like tapped out. But up until that point, it was enough for me to go like, I can't believe that these characters would be in this place, in this situation where like, they did The Witch as well, didn't they?
Yep.
Where that was fine.
That was great.
You know, you didn't need a reason for the girl and the family to be there.
Well, she wasn't meant to be there. It was meant to be a guy's trip because they were anthropologists writing a thesis on this festival in this Swedish town. So it was going to be the three guys going and experiencing this, and she wasn't even meant to come. But because she was experiencing some crazy trauma at the time, and she was dating one of the main guys, that she kind of sort of invited herself, and he's like, I can't let her stay behind because she's sad. So she kind of comes along.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I feel that it would have been different if she hadn't have been there. Like, the whole outcome would have been different.
I don't know. It could have been easier just to make her, like, you didn't need to give her that.
No.
And her like thing with her, like the death of her sister was really good. But you could have just made her one of the anthropologists.
Yeah, you could have.
Like,
but I think as well, like,
you didn't need that bit. It just seems so weird that she came.
Well, yeah, but bringing her into it is sort of like, it was real good for her in the end. So
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. You got to watch it.
I don't know. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't.
Maybe you don't. You'll be fine if you don't. Your life will go on.
Well, my second pick of a good day horror, I reckon, and the second one that sprung to mind, same year as Bad Taste, which is so unbelievable to think about, is Predator.
Yes.
Arnie.
Majority of that does happen during the day.
Yeah, all of it.
There's no night scenes?
I don't think so. Even when he's covered in mud at the end, maybe it's getting nightish. But yeah, the majority of that whole film is set in is it Vietnam they're in?
Colombia, maybe? I don't know.
Somewhere.
They're in a jungle.
They're in a jungle. It doesn't matter which jungle it is.
Yep.
They're soldiers. I mean, does anyone not know what Predator's about?
Yeah.
It had Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. It has
a predator in it.
It has a predator. It has a guy that carries around, which very popularized handheld Gatling guns, which he was a mouth tobacco spitting, cowboy wearing, hat wearing Marine.
Yep.
They have the textbook American Indian character in their team. I'm trying to remember some other ones they have. A guy with glasses.
Yep.
He must solve something because he's got glasses. And it's just about this platoon basically going through the jungle and being hunted by the predator.
Yeah.
And it's all set in the day. You get to see a lot of blood on leaves and shit like that. If you don't know what Predator is, it's stupid. It's
but this is one of those really good films that I really like because it is you fear what's in the dark. Like I said, you fear what's in the dark because you fear what you can't see. But you're in the middle of a jungle in the middle of the day and you're being hunted by something that you still can't see.
Yeah, because
this is when you're meant to be the safest is during the day, and that is just ripped from
and for some reason, it records your voice and plays it back to you. Anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime. Like, why would it do that?
I don't.
Psychologically fuck you over.
Trauma.
Yeah, I do love the idea of the predators. Like, there's these fucking dudes and they're all about hunting. And, they're not killing you because, if you're not cool, they're not going to kill you. You know what I mean?
Well, you've got to be a worthy adversary for them.
Yeah, and then, in Predator 2, whatever, when he, kills them and all the other predators rock up, you go, oh, he's fucking dead. And they're just like, no, you killed him. Like, you're sick.
You are one of us now.
No, you're one of us, but, we're not going to fuck... there's no point in me killing you because...
No. Well, you're clearly...
Or if I was going to kill you, I would let you go and then I would get ready and then let you get ready and we would do it and I would be fucking sick.
I need a training montage before I come get you.
That's what they don't have. They need a training montage for the Predator in a Predator film, getting ready to take it to the limit. I don't know what he does, putting on his armor bits and stuff like that, getting his
you want to see him working out with some dumbbells. I want to see some weightlifting action. I want to see
you want to see him go to his wardrobe, open it, pull out a fishnet t-shirt and cut the sleeves off of it and shit because it's all disheveled.
Yeah.
The weirdly the Predator wears a fishnet t-shirt.
I also want to see him polishing his mask and then putting on some dirt polish so that it looks a bit worn and rusted.
No Brasso?
Yeah.
Just getting it all wicked and stuff. Having the mask hooked into the computer, getting the installing the latest software.
But he's also downloading a Spotify playlist.
That's true. But you know how he's got the different he can see in heat vision, but he can also see in different versions. Adding some new some new effects and stuff.
Firmware 305.
Firmware. I just get there sick. And then just a fist pump at the end with a zoom shot, a zoom fist pump, and they're ready.
Oh fuck! I want that so bad. I need that in my life.
Yeah, they should just do a Predator film from the perspective of the Predator.
I would love
no
that.
Speaking.
See, that would be fantastic. So this is what they were saying about the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre film, is a lot of it, even though it's not...
Is that out?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. Even though it's from the... that's a whole other rant.
All right. Yeah, Predator.
Long story short, story shit, gore great.
No, I don't care that. I want a good story because I've seen the gore.
Yeah. But the whole point is everyone ends up sort of sympathizing with Leatherface, and you're not really meant to sympathize with the
crazy killing, cross-dressing.
But yeah, I would 100% want to see and I don't need talking. I don't want any of that. I want to see a predator going about his morning routine and doing all this stuff, and then
imagine they did a Predator film from the Predator's perspective, and he's chasing humans, but we can't understand them.
Yeah.
As in, they Charlie Brown talk them because, we can't understand. The Predator can't. So it's from his perspective. So he is just hearing shit that he can't. So it's and it's people will be like, what the fuck's going on? And then you'd realise later down the track that, and then, maybe you could, get it when you get the Blu-ray version, you could get the people's voices put in.
Yeah.
Or something, and you would realise it could change the whole film.
Oh, I like that.
Of what's going on or some shit. Anyhow, another great idea created on this podcast.
We've created great ideas.
I know.
So my next one is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1974.
That's all in the day.
I think there's only a couple of night scenes, but this whole film. And what I find so much more disturbing about this film is that it's set in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
In the middle, so it's hot.
Like
You're
Midsummer.
hot, yes.
So they're going for the same thing. They're hot,
It's
sticky.
It's sticky. It's dirty.
You get cut,
it's
you're going to die
barren.
anyway from tetanus.
Probably.
As if she wouldn't have died from tetanus.
Oh God, Jeff. Well, for me, I think like it was the hypothetical question. If you would prefer to be in a horror film, would you prefer to be in a horror film in the summer or the winter? I would 100% prefer to be trying to survive a horror film in the winter.
What, like The Thing? Oh, no, because the winter can kill you.
So can the summer.
Nah. Just
I feel I'd prefer
strip
to...
off into your duds, your undies, and just run away.
Now I'm a naked person running down the street being chased by a chainsaw-wielding person. I don't think anyone's stopping their car for me.
True.
Who's the crazier one? I don't know. But yeah, so this film is just, it just sort of already gets this really heavy sort of sense to it that it's almost tiring because you can see how sticky and hot and just tired and everything they are because of this like blistering heat.
Yeah,
and
it's almost like the
then
day.
you've got to expel your energy to try and get away from this situation as well. Like
There's no drinks.
no,
There's no Gatorade stands when you're running away.
You
like
can't
you
just
can
crack
slosh
an ice
over your
cold
face.
can of Coke. No, you fucked.
I think well, once again in this one, the daytime is a character, and that's probably your picks are better than mine so far. But as in, you know what I mean, like that the time of the day of this changes.
Yeah,
like
it just happens to be wrong place, wrong time, and that time is in the middle of the day.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I like Texas Chainsaw.
Who doesn't?
I'm
Tell
sure
me who doesn't.
I'm sure there's heaps of people.
Probably. I don't know. I don't need to know them. That's fine. Yeah, there's not too much else to say about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's a great film. We've done an episode on it. Obviously, you can go back and listen to that. But
I think most of them are set in the day, aren't they? Like the Next Generation was in the day because that was just a remake.
a lot of that was at night, though.
Oh yeah, and actually Texas Chainsaw 2, a lot of that's at night as well. The opening scene.
Yeah.
That fucking opening scene
On the radio.
on the radio.
The radio.
My next one is A Quiet Place.
Yep.
From 2018, all set in the day mostly. Some scenes at the end, but it's not about the fear of the dark, as you're saying this one. This is about the fear of the sound.
Mm-hmm.
I watched this in the cinema. I've said it before. I've never seen like a more quiet cinema ever in my life. People felt like they couldn't even make a sound that you'd ruin the film. Would have been the ultimate time to do one of those like in elbow farts in the center. You know, you know the ones like. That would have been great.
That would have been. You should have. You missed an opportunity.
I know.
You need to reassess.
But yeah, so all set in the day because it doesn't matter. These things like they don't care if it's day or night.
Yep.
It's all about you making the sound. Second one I didn't like. Heaps of people loved it.
I haven't watched it yet.
A lot of that set in the day. Was it in the day? Yeah. But yeah, just there's some bits that really don't make sense in it.
Yeah. Okay.
Like people know stuff that they shouldn't know.
Yeah.
And it's a prequel. So I'm like, Oh, there's some bits that are the prequel part where they shouldn't know that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Or, yeah. But, I don't know. It just didn't seem to have the power that first one did. It kind of wasn't about the... It was about the sound, but the sound wasn't scary anymore. Like, it was like they'd dumbed it down a bit to make it a bit more...
Appealing.
A bit more just like monster shooting movie. And I'm like,
Yeah. But that's just like when people complained about Godzilla that there was not enough monster action, and then they made a film with more monster action. They complained that there wasn't enough people.
Yeah, you need Shin Godzilla to even bureaucracy and lizards.
Oh man, Shin Godzilla's the best.
That's a scale of awesomeness.
Yep.
I love that film. I've got it ready.
You've got it ready on the list?
I want to watch it.
Done.
I'm gonna.
We'll do it.
My wife likes it as well, so it's
Even
an
better.
easy one to bring on without a sigh.
Yeah, I get that sigh too. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I do.
I think a lot of horror fans would have that sigh with their spouses.
Yeah.
Spouse the right word?
Yes.
That means the person you're with?
Yes.
Yeah. That, like, if they're not into it and you're like, let's do a casual night laying back and relaxing watching Hereditary.
No, see, no. Oh, God.
Even I'd sigh for that one.
I get that. Well, no, so I pick my films. If I want to watch a horror, I will pick correctly. So I made Liz watch Dude Party Massacre 3 the other day.
Had she not seen it?
She hadn't seen it.
Did she like it?
She loved it.
Yeah, good.
She thought it was great. And that was just coming off of watching The Requeen, which is a new shark film starring Alicia Silverstone, and it's awful, but a must watch.
Is it No Meg?
It's no Meg.
Jason Statham?
It'll never be the Meg. I love that film.
I tried to show Do Party Massacre 3 to my younger millennial friends, and they just did not get it. I just had to turn it off.
Oh,
They just stopped moving. You know what I
hate
mean?
that.
They just looked at it and stopped moving, and they didn't blink. And
Yeah.
there was funny stuff happening, and they just didn't move. And I went, maybe it's just for someone who's lived through that time period.
yeah, maybe. Oh, that makes me sad.
Yeah, I know. It means it's got a short life.
It does
then.
have a short life, but oh, damn. All right. Well, the next one on my list is The Hills Have Eyes, and I'll chuck in both the 1977 and the 2006 remake. Again, very similar vibe to Texas Chainsaw Massacre because it is set in a desert. So it's like ex-nuclear testing facility, sort of like test site. So the people that are living there are mutated. So,
Are they?
yeah. So they're all hunting. You know, it's pretty
But
much
they're not
like
they're not like monster mutated, are they?
No,
They
no,
just
no.
got some deformities.
There's
They don't have like powers.
there's
Yeah.
a lot of
They're
deformities.
not like mutants like
No.
the X-Men.
No, not quite. So it just so happens that this family took a wrong turn. They're in
Oh.
the middle of they're in the middle of this desert, and you know they're on their land. So
Your first three have just been about people that are crazy.
yep.
You know what I mean? Like they're
people are
all
crazy.
and all mine are about monsters. There's a thesis in that one.
Yeah, there really is. But yeah, like I mean, I really like. I don't want to be the guy that says I like the 2006 version better than the 1977 version.
You can. I like
Because-
The Ring better than the original, the remake.
Mostly because I saw the remake first, and then I went back and watched the original, and it just didn't feel the same to me. It was a lot slow pace, but it's got Michael Berryman, who we love. But yeah, so again, this is like set in the middle of the summer. You're in the middle of nowhere. You are stuck. You've got very limited supplies. You've got very limited time. What is going to get you?
I've always meant to watch this film. I don't
And
know
you
how
can't
it's
even
always
see
got
what's
past
happening,
me.
what's hunting you in the day, in the middle of fucking nowhere where there are no trees. It's just mountains.
Just rocky outcrops.
I don't
a
think you
mossy
should watch
cleft.
it. It's not a Dan film.
You don't think I like it? You think I'm scared?
I feel that it'd probably end up being a C-.
What
Craft
was
is
that
stellar. You
film?
don't like the content.
Was there a film we watched called? What was the film where there was that hole, and the kid and the it was like a recent one.
Was
this
it the
called
Irish one? The Hole in the Ground?
Is this called The Hole?
No, I
was
think
it-
it was The Hole in the Ground.
The Hole in the Ground.
Yeah.
I think I keep coming back to that film in my mind. Like it's the same as we gave a shit to. I gave a bit of shit to Relic, and I keep coming back to it in my mind. I'm like, maybe I was just didn't give it and like didn't give it the credit it was due. I might have to rewatch the
Hey,
Relic.
look, sometimes you rewatch a film and you're like, I didn't like it. Could have just been you were having a bad day. You just weren't into it at the moment.
It just happened to me when buying CDs back in the day. I would like buy a CD, get it home, and think, oh man, it's shit. 6 months later, come back to it, became my favourite CD.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, it can happen, and I don't berate anyone for doing that, aka myself.
It's what we all do. It's what we all do. So yeah, I mean, yeah, family stuck in the desert, hunted by mutants. That's it.
Cool. My one, next one,
Yeah.
Day of the Dead.
Oh,
It's got day in the name.
it literally says it.
The other day, because the other one was Night of the Dead.
Yeah.
Night of the Living Dead?
Yeah.
Night of the Dead. And then Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead.
Dead in the day. Dead people at daytime. Wait, which one is this? I just wrote it down and I was like, oh, I remember. I get them all confused. Is this a shopping mall one?
No, that's Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, fuck.
Day of the Dead, I believe, is the one where they're on the military base.
Oh, I'm changing it to Dawn. Even though, well, Dawn's still the day. It's
well,
the
yeah,
beginning.
it's the beginning of the day, yeah. Well, that's another thing. Like in Zack Snyder's version, that was fucking terrifying because you imagine, again, like you just imagine all this horrible shit happening in the middle of the nighttime, but all of these fucking zombies are running at you in the middle of the day. Like
Can't
the
get away.
day is when you're awake, the night is when you're asleep and relaxed. So it doesn't make sense for bad stuff to happen during the day, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense, but it makes sense.
Especially when they're sexy casino zombies. Or whatever the shit that fucking movie was.
Yeah, that movie was terrible.
Dawn of the Dead. I've changed it too because I got them confused. The one in the shopping mall, which is mostly set in the day.
Yeah.
They come down in daytime. It's like the shopping mall's like, it's all bright. It's all neon lit, like kind of thing. It does. It kind of weird, that one. It goes nearly over their whole lifespan, doesn't it? They live in there.
Yeah.
For over a long period of time and stuff. But I think the majority of it is set in the day or under fluorescent light.
Yeah, so it's very bright.
Yeah. Love that film. It has like some. I'm just trying to remember that. Like, they had some real early kind of like dismemberment scenes where you got to see everything happening, kind of thing. Like the.
Well, that was Savini again, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's Savini going Savini.
Being Savini. Bringing the goods. Fucking love it.
Yeah, and I really like that idea of it being set over a long period of time, which you don't often get in horror films. Usually horror films are set over one night. Or at least a day.
Or a
couple of days or something like that. Where this is like, they live in there. The scenes where they just clear out all the zombies and it's like a comical kind of scene. It's like, having fun, stabbing cunts. Like, you know what I mean? Like, then it has a whole massive part of the film that was living in there. They got away, and then the bikers come and fuck it all up and kind of thing. And Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead.
And Day of the Dead is actually a lot of that's in the nighttime, so they really fucked up with
the Day of the Dead. Well, a lot of it happens in an underground base, so you couldn't tell if it's day or night.
But when they got Bud,
Yeah,
Bubba, what's his name?
Bub. Yeah.
Wait, he's in his pen. Isn't that's outside, isn't it?
It's inside, but it's under a light. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow, fuck that up.
Not at all.
Dawn of the Dead. That's
always unedited, unscripted. My final one on my list, I went with Piranha 2010 because why wouldn't I? That whole film is set during the day.
Lots of the animal films are.
Yeah, I get a great aquatic horror. I get a lot of carnage and blood and severed dicks. It's over the whole day.
1978, my birth year.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Getting old, mate.
Yeah, and 2010. That's the one with Parks and Rec in it. And
yes,
stuff, yeah.
2010 was the one. I think the
one scene which is worth making the whole film worth watching, and the rest is rubbish.
No, you are wrong. The whole film is great. Everything about that film was great. We're going to agree to disagree until I make you
tell me
watch.
about Piranha.
Piranha. All right. So basically,
the 1978 one.
I can't remember. It's I watched it not too long ago. So basically, like piranhas, they get out. They're in a sewage treatment plant. They end up in the water stream.
They're lucky they're not in there with a gator.
No, that's true. They end up in a summer camp.
Ooh.
There's like one kid that doesn't want to swim, and the camp counselor's like, fuck you, and just boots her in the pool.
That's how they made Jason.
In the lake. That's true.
I got to watch out for that. We got some honourable mentions as well.
Yes, always.
Obviously. Jaws.
Yeah, great film.
Is it a horror film?
Well, I'd call it aquatic horror.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it in the horror. It's
Actually,
under the umbrella.
This one, The Furies.
Yes.
That should have been in the main list. That's a heaps good film, all set in the daytime.
Yeah,
Australian?
It should have.
Is that Australian?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, it got the Fangoria award for the most brutal kill of the year.
Yeah, the axe.
Yeah, the slow axe.
Oh, that's so
slacks. If you don't know what The Furies is, actually, I was trying to remember this film with listener Chris Franks.
Yep.
He came in. He was down. He visited the other day, and I was trying to remember what this film was called. I couldn't remember what it was called. It's a film about was there nine people. 9 girls wake up on a property, and they all have assigned to them like a killer, like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre killer. So the killers have to go kill all the other girls, but they have one girl assigned to them, and if their girl dies, their head explodes.
Yeah.
Sounds so stupid. It's such a good film.
Such a great film. We did an episode on it.
Yeah. The Furies.
Yes.
Okay, I've forgotten what it was called. But yeah, no, that should have been up in my list. I'm putting that into my list. I also had in my list, and I forgot to mention it, It.
Yep.
The first one, 2017 It, the remake, all set in the day.
Yeah.
Well, they're all walking around dairy in the daytime. There's some dark bits in the It house and that, but he gets out of a fridge
Yeah, that's really cool. I like that
Like
scene.
all that's in the day.
That's a great scene.
The kid with the painting and all that stuff. That's all in the daytime. Like it's all in the daytime.
Yeah.
Good on it.
Love it. The Birds, Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. That's another one that's set during the day, primarily during the day, with lots of birds.
Yeah, lots of budgies.
Yeah.
Attack of the Budgies. I don't care what you say. No matter how many budgies you had in the world, they could not hurt me. You don't think?
I don't know, but I don't like birds.
Even if you put your finger in their mouth and they bite you, it's just like an owl. It's not like a... You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Got little tiny claws that would just break off on your skin, probably. Feathers. They don't even have a mass. Like, you could probably blow them away. Get away.
Get away, bird.
Anyway, but they weren't all budgies. There was probably some other ones in there.
There was a lot of other. I haven't watched the Birds.
Birdemic was set in the daytime.
Glorious. Tremors.
Tremors is a great one.
Yeah.
Why didn't we say that in our main one as well?
I don't know.
Tremors.
Tremors, that's great. Set during the day. Kevin Bacon and that other guy.
Kevin Bacon. We've done an episode on Tremors.
No, we haven't.
Yeah,
you watched Tremors before we started doing
the structure.
Spoiler cast. So we should definitely do Tremors.
Or Tremors 2.
In the future,
when they're like little chickens.
I mean, we could do the latest Tremors where it's set in the Ice Age.
No.
There's like 7 Tremors or something.
What do they call them? Graboids?
Yeah.
Graboids.
So good.
I loved
Again, it's set in the desert, in the middle of nowhere.
Tremors is great.
We fear the desert.
I'm sure we did do an episode. No, we didn't, did we?
No.
Fear the desert.
Yeah.
Fear. It's also fear what you can't see.
Exactly.
Even though you can see it.
Even though it's right there.
Well, Tremors at night would be such a boring film because they're underground anyway. Yeah. If you can't see them,
what's the point?
Yeah. I think there is a scene at night and it's boring. It's just like an opening one kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah. The Ring.
Yep. A lot of that set during the day.
Yeah. All of it set in the day.
Yeah. And it's quite unsettling as well because it's like it's not in the middle of summer, it's not in the middle of winter. It's just like this really
very grey.
gloomy.
It's very that. It's like that exists in the Matrix. You know that kind of film look, that green look.
Yeah. The
whole way through, which I think was his early digital film, like video, whatever they call it, like these days. That's all set in the day. The Host, the Korean film. Yeah. That wasn't afraid of having the monster coming out right in the daytime,
and snatch a child,
run around as well, like just be, I'm a fucking monster.
Monsters don't care if it's day or night; they're gonna do monster shit.
That's what I thought. Like these monsters that like Crocodile that we watched last week. Alligator. He was like biting his time and hiding. Like monsters don't animals don't do that. They don't go like, oh fuck. I mean, nocturnal ones do, sure. But, you know what I mean? They don't.
Yeah.
If you can choose, it's not going to go, oh, I better wait.
Yeah, so the teens aren't quite at the campsite yet. You just be like, I'm a monster. Oh, there's no teens here. I'm going to go back and then I'll try it again later. It's fine.
They're not here. Oh, no, it's not summer. There's no one here. I'll just smash all the buildings. I do have a worst day horror.
Yes.
The Happening.
Yes.
By M. Night Shyamalan and Ding Dong. Like, this film is the shit.
The shit or
I'm going to spoil it. I don't give a fuck. The enemy is the wind.
Farts.
And there are scenes, not only that, it's like pollen or something like that. But which makes you want
to... It's like through the trees or something?
Yeah, it makes you want... It's Mother Nature.
It's plants.
It's Mother Nature reacting to humans fucking up the world, and so all the trees and plants let out a pollen makes you want to kill yourself. Cool idea, which opens with some fucking amazing scenes, like streets lined with these people hanging themselves, people jumping out of buildings like thunk thunk thunk.
Well, the one that I remember the most is the one where the guy walks into like a lion cage at a zoo, and he just walks up to some like lions, and they just rip him apart, just casually as well.
And the thing is that makes it's such an interesting start idea that you're like, oh my god, what could it be? And it is such
plants.
And there's a bit where they're like running away from it because they see the grass moving and they're like, quick, run! And they're running away from wind that they've envisioned. I'm like, wind isn't just There isn't a wall of wind.
Yeah.
That is like, that's where wind is. Wind just moves.
Yes.
So, it was such a good start and such an interesting start that you're like, but that's the whole thing. They had such an interesting start. They couldn't follow through with a good explanation.
But that's just shamalama ding dong for you.
No,
a lot of them start
like
pretty
Signs.
good. Okay, Signs is an anomaly.
No, it's true. Sixth Sense?
That was his first one, so yeah. He kind of, like, everything is a twist.
Remember him in South Park when they get him on because he's a great filmmaker to give him ideas of how to solve this problem, and he keeps saying, "What if we make it it's his brother?" And I go, "That's not an idea. That's a twist. That can't help us." And he can only just say twist.
Twists. Yep. So even the movie Old it started out pretty good. Terrible.
Terrible ending. He just can't. He's like, he can't end it. He's like Stephen King.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, I think that's
it.
That's it.
We're going to cut it off. We're going to do a little short episode. It's not super short. It's a couple of minutes shorter, but yeah, and that's it. But before we sign off, we like to do a shout out to all the people we interact with over on the social medias. They help us grow. People like Dion the Cracknell.
Yes.
Somewhat Awesome Rob. Adam Gillespie. He said something this week. I can't remember what it was. And it was like, oh my God. Doesn't matter. Ian Chapman, Kevin Patterson, Cripsy, old Sam Cripps, Comic Thoughts. Check out
Old Spicy Cough Cripsy.
Spicy Cough.
He's got COVID.
Has he?
He got COVID.
When?
Like recently. He put it on his social medias.
I don't read social media.
Yeah.
Chad Habel, thank you very much. Underground Records, thank you very much. The Nethernoose, thank you very much. Patrick Roberts, thank you very much.
And I'm going to throw in Audio Blood as well.
Audio Blood. We love Audio Blood, another podcast, friendly podcast, which they go through and play a bunch of like horror soundtracks and have a little bit of tidbits of information in between. But if you just want to chill out and listen to some sweet tunes and then have a little bit of, that was about that. I think he does 2 versions, doesn't he? He does like just one as well, which is just the music.
I think so.
And then one that's about the music and the music or something like that. Yep. Friend of the show, Audio Blood. Excellent. Check it out. And I have to keep doing the end bit because I always forget.
Yeah.
You've been listening to TerrorVision Horror Podcast, the Splatter Chatter with Dan and Jennifer. We are available on all major podcasting services and also the YouTube. But no matter where you choose to consume us, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, leave a comment or a review. But it doesn't really matter because if once this part of the show comes up, probably people stop listening. You can interact with us both on Facebook and Instagram. And we also have a email, which is terrorvisionpod@gmail.com. You can, email us.
Yeah.
Email us a picture of your best horror moment.
Do it. Yes. And until next week, remember, be kind, rewind.